Our first witness for the day is Jerome K. Newell.
Shall we stand for the oath?
I, Jerome K. Newell, do promise that the testimony that I am about to give to the TRC of Liberia is the whole truth, but nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Sit here, please. Good morning, Mr. Witness.
Good morning.
And welcome to the TRC.
Thank you.
We want to tell you thank you for taking up your busy schedule to come and join us today to share your experience with the TRC and the people of Liberia. This process was established after the conflict in Liberia so that we all can understand and get a clear and accurate picture of what transpired during the conflict years. And with that understanding, it is hoped that we will find the basis to reconcile, to understand what went wrong, and to take corrective measures that will guarantee against the recurrence of the violent conflict we had. That's why we appreciate you and all who come forward, those who are in the audience, who come to support the process as we go along. So at this stage, I will introduce to you the commissioners here present. At the extreme end of my right is Commissioner Sheikh Afuma Kone. Next to him is Commissioner Gerald B. Coleman. And next to Commissioner Coleman is Commissioner Umu Sila. And next to Umu Sila, sitting at my immediate right, is Commissioner Dede Dolope. At the far end of my left is Commissioner Per Brown Bull, and next to her is Commissioner John Stewart. I am Jerome Voidier. So welcome. Did you say your name was Jerome Newell?
Thank you very much. Speaking to you, I'm Jerome K. Newell.
Okay. You live in Harper?
Yes, I live in Harper City as East Town, Jacksonville Township.
Eastern Town.
Yeah.
Your date of birth, please. Date of birth.
I was born 1956, March 16.
Okay. Are you currently employed?
What?
Are you employed?
You working?
Yes, I'm working.
Okay. Thank you very much. You may now proceed with your testimony.
Okay. What I don't know about is the working inter-Maryland County areas in the 90s. But for the 90s, some of us never had any hardship. We were all up and down. Before the work would come in, I was working in the security force. But because the post said they didn't want to see any security and why now, so some of us left the county, we left the city and we went to our various villages. But after a few times, we came back in town and we stayed with the people. They told us to register and we register. Because anywhere you go, he said you should register. And we did all that. We stayed, but during the time of the drew ball and the gunboat, some of us were able to leave the town for good. When we went to our villages, our towns, and we started making farms there. But in making this farm, in 1994, the first LPC came into Liberia County, which of course, it was not any good harm to plenty people, although it was a war that anyhow somebody had to die, but it was not that much. But the second time of the LPC, which was 1996, that's the time, April 5th, they entered in Maryland County. The 6th of April, they were in my town, which is federal where I was living. But before they could get in the town there in the morning, my father sent for me. My father was a director, was a country director. And he was heading the directors in, the those in Maryland County, and he was here. So he invited me that morning to the house, and he told me that 2 of his wives were sick. They couldn't walk, they were sick. So he wanted for us to give idea of taking them from the town because we heard a launching that morning. But what we're discussing, then I heard a car sound coming to the town. My town, right? So the border area, when you go to the border, right on the road there, federal. So when we heard the car sound, I told him, I said, I heard a car sound. So he said, go outside and find out what side the car coming from. And the horse is somehow like a lift step. You have to get down from the lift step before you go on the floor. As soon as I came outside before getting down the steps, that time I was the one that was going up and down. So as a director, they sponsored on me. I'm sorry that during the last model war, the shirt that I wore that day, because I was keeping it. You could see the bullet mark on the Sunday, but the bullet didn't do anything. God helped a lot. So when I came outside, 3 persons were on me already. They started shooting. So I ran from there. I never had a chance to enter in again, and I started running up the hill. But behold, another group got down from the car, and they were coming down the hill, and they were said, "Brother, together." They opened fire again and started shooting. So I escaped then. It was a big cotton tree that fell down by the town. So I went behind the cotton tree, and yes, I hit myself. I was. Yeah, the only thing I could hold, they said that we are getting to the area where they always making the medicine. We got to the medicine town. So the half-free horse that were there, they put it on fire. But now they were burning the horse. There was no fire that I saw. I only saw the smoke. The horse was just smoking until it never light. It smoked until the whole horse went down. And the next thing that I heard was, and he said he wish and God can't do anything to him. If God can't do anything to him, just waste gasoline on him and put him in a place there and burn him. Say God can't do anything to him. Let's see what fire will not do anything. So from there, then I started hearing the noise, the crying. It was my father, his 3 wives, my brother wife, and my brother's son. There were 6 persons that were placed in the house. And for 2, they set the house on fire with the gasoline, and they burned them. Everybody in the Maryland County, they knew about that story. They burned the place, and beside that, one David was standing by the house. They first entered the town, they grabbed him, and they carried him to the border there. They killed him, they butchered him. Another man they called Ty Steven, they collected him, they also carried him to the border, and there they killed him. And as a country director, it was one woman who was sick who they carried to him. They also opened the woman up and they killed her in that house there too. So there were 9 persons that they killed from the town. So after the noise, the people started crying and howling and whatnot. After it went down some more, then I came back to the village. I passed in the bushes and I came back to the village. Late in the evening, I collected 2 of my late brothers. And we went on the scene, and when we entered there, although the house was still burning, but it was not that much. We entered, and we saw the areas that the people, those booms and things, where they were still burning, we saw the spark. And from there, I took my family, and we passed in the bushes until we got across the border and went to Ivory Coast, where we spent almost about 2-3 years before we came back. This is what I know that happened in my town.
Thank you very much, Mr. Witness, for sharing your experience with us. In the same vein, please accept our sympathy. The Commission, the people of Maryland, people of Liberia, for the loss of your relatives, your father, and a very tragic experience of being at a distance and seeing your people burning to death and nothing you could do because you are an armless, innocent victim. We are very sorry and want to say that's the reason why the TRC was established, because up to now there are still some people who don't believe that these things took place. So in this public manner, when people come and they testify to real life experiences, then in our conscience, we know that we were bad, we were wicked to ourselves, and then we realize that war is not good, and then we apply all efforts to make sure that our country does not sink to conflict again. So I want to thank you for that. And at this time, commissioners will ask you a couple of questions so you can clarify some of the things that they didn't understand and maybe throw more light on some issues. Okay?
Okay, before that, I'm sorry on the names of the people, or maybe, the poor dress. And what you're not expecting, when the attack go on, you cannot say, let me look at the person's face, how they look like, the name and whatnot. The only thing I could remember is we always abusing each other. Excuse me, you say you're a stupid man, and you say you get medicine. Nothing can happen to you. Yeah, and you stupid. What the gun can do to you? Always abusing each other and running for each other. But all that, I didn't know. The special people, I didn't know them.
So in other words, they were strangers.
Yeah.
And then they were disguised. You couldn't see their faces. Or you could see their faces, but you couldn't recognize them.
Yeah, and some were dressed. Some tie hater, some had something tie, had contract, something there on their faces and whatnot.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. But how did you realize they were part of a particular faction?
Well, what happened here is it was something that they discussed. Because what they said there is that's a man who here always making medicine for NPFL. So if you can't get in, God can't do anything to him. You send to people, to our other friends that there, two other doctors there, you send for them to come. Because what he was saying is, for each side they want to go closer to the old man, it will be darkness, they can't see him. So they were asking for their friends to have gone to people and get a help from there, that they could be able to use them to help on killing the old man. And before killing the old man, they explained that it was the old man chain that he took her and presented to them after they had called the woman who was sick, and they decided to kill the woman, so the old man went and gave the chain up before the old man presented himself to them. So all the discussions they were having, I was behind the place there, and they were not something that was saying secretly. They were causing noise and abusing. So this is how I know that it was LPC.
Because they were against child status, so you knew they were LPC people.
Huh?
Because there were forces fighting against child status forces, that's how you knew they were LPC people. So what was your father's name?
Adam Nouvel.
Adam?
Nouvel, yeah.
Adam Nouvel.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Check.
We are sorry for what happened to your parents and yourself. Can you give us the names of your father's wives?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. My father, the three women that they killed, one is Wade, Nive.
Wade?
Wade, yeah. Nive.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is Nyeba.
Nyeba.
Nimba?
Yeah.
Nyeba.
Nyeba.
Oh, Nimba.
Nyeba.
Mm-hmm. The other one is, they call her Yudu.
Huh?
Yudu.
Dudu.
Yeah, neither.
What about the doctor?
My brother's wife, name was also called Niva too.
Your brother's wife?
Huh?
Say your brother's wife?
Yeah, which is the old man, daughter-in-law, who they also killed.
Was called?
Niva.
Nyaba.
Niva. Yeah.
Nyaba.
Yeah. Niva Meron, because that one, she was just walking and she went there.
Mero.
Yeah, Meron.
What about the grandson?
The grandson was a late child,
Yeah.
so there was no special need I was giving.
And how old you think was that child?
The child, he was just somebody that was learning how to sit down.
Huh?
Learning how to sit down.
Learning how to sit down. Okay. Now you said that your father was a traditional doctor.
Yeah.
And also the head of the traditional people.
Yeah.
Was it the reason why he was selectively targeted, or truly he was engaged in preparing protection for NPFL fighters?
Well, what I do know is when the breeze blows, wherever the breeze goes, there the breeze hairs go. So it was NPFL that were in control of Maryland the whole while. And the NPFL soldiers almost, they were spending time in that area. Every time they used to visit them. They used to go there near us every time in that town.
But what I'm saying, I'm talking about your own certain knowledge.
Huh?
I'm talking about what you know yourself, not what you perceive to have taken place. Within your own mind,
yeah. In my own mind,
were you certain whether your father were ever engaged in preparing protection for NPFL fighters?
It might be, I may say yes, because he was there as a doctor, and he was also there looking for him daily bread. So people go to him every time.
And you said you yourself were shot several times.
Yeah.
And the bullet could not touch you.
Yeah.
Was it your own making, or was also a preparation that was done by your father?
This is why I said from the beginning, I said because I was the one that was up and down, so yeah, prepared me in that time. And in that time, I could say to anybody that you even tapping me that you just playing phone.
So within this context, you believed that your father was capable of providing protection for people?
Yeah, say he did it and nothing happened, I believe that.
Do you remember the names of some of the people that or the commander of the group that came to your father's place? Do you remember the name of any of the commanders?
Well, I cannot remember because what happened is, as I said, after this had happened, that same very evening was forced to cross. And when we crossed, we only used to, those people that came from there to come for food, we got to know that there are some of the people that are caught, they divide the pieces and they start showing their pieces out to the water side there. So when you hear that, you don't even want to come closer to the bowler area there. Because one time they crossed the bowler and they went on the aggressor and they grabbed somebody from there, they brought them and tapped them out to pieces. So some of us we went for good. We never even had time to look back to whatsoever thing that happened.
So you can't remember any of their names?
No, I think I can't remember any of them. I don't want to lie on anybody. I don't know any of them. I don't know any of them.
Okay, thank you.
The witness? for the loss of your family members during this wartime. I just have a few questions. Number one, where did you work, you say, before? You said you were serving as security. Where was that at? What place you used to work with? Who used to work with before?
Before the war?
Yeah.
I was working at the Monrovia College as security.
Oh, okay. Do you know whether that college was destroyed at any time during the war?
Did
they attack that college? Were the buildings destroyed or anything? Do you know from your knowledge? They did anything to the college? The people, they went there, they hiked the people, they broke the building down, they put fire there, they did anything there during the wartime?
Well, the college, I don't know. I could not give any account on that. But what happened is, before the war could reach, before the terror group could reach, first of all, they told us to leave the area there. Which I said earlier, I said some of us left at least a month, two before the coup arrived in town. Because they said if they have any security, anybody that work in the security force, they're going to kill them. So we all ran away. We were in the security force. We ran away. We left the town before the coup arrived.
So you didn't hear any news later about your former working place?
Well, when in TC or taking TC Sunday, maybe if it happened, it would be after the war went down. But during that time, I don't think that there were anything taken from it.
Thank you. Also, when Taylor's group, the NPFL, came to town, during that time, before LPC came, how did they treat the citizens? How was your relationship?
Well, the people here, that's serious. I don't care what happened. It was something that maybe Moses Taylor used to say that Merlin County was a county, but it was still beating and still killing here. It was still beating and still killing. It was still doing different things to people, women, and wild, and all those things were happening here.
Okay, but after the LPC period came, was it worse or the same?
Well, what happened is the LPC came because what happened is they make us to understand that Maryland County was the one that was backing Taylor serious. So with that mind, they came and all Maryland were targeted. The first group that came, 1994, they didn't do anything much. They didn't do anything. They are all surrounded in a place, in the city, we had several meetings, they are all together. But the last group, after Taylor group came and moved up from here, when they went and the reinforcement that came for, 1995. That's the one that it was no barrel.
Okay. How about were you around during the model period or you had moved to Ivory Coast?
Model period too, yes, I left.
Okay.
Model period I left.
So you don't know much?
It was the same day that model arrived, it was the same day that I left.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't know much about that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Novell?
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to the TRS here. And we're so sorry for what's happened to your family. Now you said that during the second coming of the LPC, that was the time your family was targeted. Can you share with us some of the other things or what happened to other people at that time by LPC fighters besides your family, if you know?
Well, on the LPC?
Yes, when it came the second time, after they did that to your family, you were still around.
Well, what I don't know is, as I continue to say, because whatsoever you say here, that's the one that make you to be somebody. I said it and I continue to say. I left that very day and I went across. And whatsoever things that happen is they say. And I don't want to make reference to they say.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Newell?
Yeah.
Morning.
Yeah, how are you?
And thank you for coming to the TRC.
Okay.
I also have my sympathy for the death of your family.
Thank you.
And you mentioned no Bible.
Yeah.
Please explain the Bible.
Well, if I say no Bible, it's something like there was no forgiving when they arrived. When the second FPC came, there was no forgiveness. When they bother with you, it's hard for them to pass you.
Yeah.
More killing went on in this county. More killing went on. It was the worst killing that ever went on during the whole war. The second FPC. Anybody who lives in Maryland County or in Harper City, they will say it when you ask them.
So it was like a slogan? Was it a slogan? They were killing people and saying it?
Yeah. Even I can remember, I think the only thing, I don't want to make reference to they say, but they said they had somebody like that who had a son and said, no Bible. It was one of the person who they say had a name. They had no Bible. They had the other one who they used to call, I know. They had that funny name. No Bible. And they get to you can't finish. If you don't find your way out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Witness, good morning.
Yeah, how are you?
And as my colleagues have said, please accept our sympathies for the loss of your parents and relatives. I'd just like for you to give us an idea, a clear idea of what happened during that time. By the time the LPC fighters came to your town and you heard they were coming, did you hear of any name of any commander who was leading these people?
The first FPC.
No, you talk about this second coming.
Second time. No, I continue to say it. The people arrived here on the 5th in the evening. And that whole night it was shooting. That time someone went to the video.
The 5th of which month? The
April. The 5th of April, 1995. And the whole shooting was going on that whole night. And in the morning, I was invited by my old man to see how bad we were going to solve the problem of the two women that were sick. So it was no name that came up, and that morning the scene took place.
All right. In your testimony, you also mentioned something about the time of Durubo and the gunboat. Can you throw some light on what you mean by that?
The Durubo and gunboat?
Yeah. What happened during that time?
Yeah. The Durubo time in the city here, I don't think nobody, only one person I can remember that died at the port. During the time the Durubo came, they said that Taylor was taking logs from here out of the country, and they didn't want to see any ship on the port. And a ship went there, and they were working, and when the Durubo launched, one crewman they called Minico, he died on the spot there. He was targeted. He died at the port there. But besides that, for Durubo to kill somebody here, didn't come across it. And the gunboat too, all the shooting that they were going on, for it to drop in the city, I didn't take notice of it. Every time when they send the Sunday, it passed over the city and fall in the water.
So you don't remember anybody being killed as a result of that?
No, the gunboat and the Durubo, I can't remember of they killed it beside that one person that I'm talking about. Because the gunboat and the Durubo, I was in town here. Later before I left. But I didn't hear anybody dead beside that one person.
So you're saying that ships used to be coming into the port?
Huh?
ships used to be coming into the port. Ships.
Yeah.
You have any idea what the ships used to be bringing, what they used to be carrying?
What? Could not say that they used to bring anything because I never got closer to the port area there. But what I do know is the death toll came, so that death toll, everybody heard that news, and we got to know how it happened. They say a ship came and they were loading logs to carry, and the blue ball came and shoot. So that's how we got to know it.
Thank you.
Mr. Newell?
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to tell your story.
Yeah.
Although you lost your father and other relatives, but one aspect of the TRC too, we are to look into the historical aspect of this country. Not just the root cause of the war, but the exciting part of our history. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
You can talk to the mic, and the mic here just came on.
I think that is all right.
Yeah.
It's not on.
It's on now. But if you don't hear me through the mic, my voice.
Yeah, your voice is all right.
Yeah. One part of our work is to look into the history of this country. There are certain things they call myth. That means that something that people been seeing like tale long from our forefather time, but we don't know whether it's right or it's wrong. We just heard our people who were born seeing it. One part about it is the medicine aspect, the African sign that happens in this country. Now, you have brought it out to light, and since you were 39 years old, when this thing happened, you have admitted that your father was one of those who did African science, right?
Yeah.
So now we can, this undisputed fact in our history about whether African science exists or not, you are a witness because you were 39 years old and you said your father was one of the African souls who could make medicine that if they put it on you, gunshot will not kill you.
Yeah.
And as you see our team confronting our difficult past for a better future, although there was a bad, difficult past, but with this aspect of our medicine, African science, giving gunshot that it can't shoot you, that one part now we can document to see how it can help us with our army because, you know, we go to shoot at all our people, but I want to know, like many people say, our people got these things, but they carry to their grave, and they don't show someone else. How many brothers and sisters did how many children your father had?
We are plenty.
More than you even know.
We are plenty.
How many?
We are plenty.
All right, plenty. Do you know, because I've seen that there was a difficult past because you witnessed that he died. Mr. Adam Newell died, the African son soul. Did he give this information or his gift to any of his children that you know of?
No, I can't remember. They are not come to tell me.
Now, let's go back. You said your left papa.
Yeah.
Do they have a boat or seashore or with boats and things up into your town, petty boat?
Boats?
The boat, because my colleague was asking you about some blue boat or what was happening to the boat in Harper.
No.
Do you know about it? Were you present?
What I said here is during the gunboat time, it was not a time that LPC came. That time it was Taylor Sawyers that were here, and that time we were still in town during the gunboat time and the blue boat time. But after we were getting so serious, then some of us found our way and we went on the farm to make our farm there.
From the statement that written here that I have,
Yeah.
you say you left Harper and you went to your town, Petty.
Terrible, yeah.
And apparently the house that got burned was in your father's house or your uncle's house?
It was my father's house.
Your father's house?
Yes. If it was not only that one house, the whole town was burned.
And you said that when the people went to put the fire around there, so that your father's house, because he was a medicine man, they put the fire around there, but the fire didn't burn the house, the smoke was just coming. And the people say, "Kasi medicine at work?"
No. What I said there is, I said the high priest house.
The high priest
house, yeah, the high priest house. Tradition is the place that the people go there to discuss, and there they keep their medicine. Tradition, and that's the one that they were burning. That couldn't burn openly. It was just smoking up. But not my father's house.
All right. If you don't know, don't say it. But the high priest.
Yeah.
Can you tell us anything about the role of the high priest versus the role of the African science like the zoo? So is the high priest one who was higher than even the African science zoo? Or he was a spiritual person, so to speak? What is it? If you know. If you don't know, don't go there.
Let me throw small light on there. A high priest is not compared that the high priest has to be an African son before they become high priests. But as a high priest, because people go to you, witch people and different people go there for discussion. So if you are a high priest, it means commonly you are there as a part of the witch people because they go there and discuss with you when they are traveling in a town.
Can you say the high priests, are they part of the witch people or not?
They might be part of.
So, just for clarity, no offense, because I'm not aware. You know, I'm from Montserrat and not Southeast, so if I ask questions, it's out of ignorance and to know. Why do you call, so like your father, who was an African science zoo, will they be the people who will be considered in this area to be the witch? Part of the witch? Because you use the word witch.
Yeah, somebody who they have a witch doctor and they have a cater. Okay. So a cater is different from being a country doctor who help people. So there are two ways.
One, people go to
for help.
People.
Yeah.
And there's another one people go to for help.
Yeah.
And to cure them.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Excuse me, just for clarity, the group that your father belonged to, though he died, does that group still exist? The group that can provide this service of protection? The people, other people like him, they're still existing now, or most of them were killed, or what?
Well, most of them died. Only maybe some of the children are still alive.
Okay. And when you said this high priest, you meant in a structure, he is the highest of all of the other leaders, the other witch people? Or, because when we think of high priest in church, you mean the highest man amongst all the leaders?
If you say a high priest, is a person who the town people, the youth and the women put together as a head of the town.
Oh, okay.
Traditionally.
All right.
And traditionally, what used to happen is that particular person, the man and the woman, they are not able to go and brush. The town people brush for them. The town people plant the thing. The town people bring water for them. You are not to speak to one of them. They are one person in the hall. You are not to enter them. When you enter there, it's 7 cows, 7 goats, and me. You go have something to do with the man's wife. They are not to ride car. The wall, if they are in the area, they go to the wall with their cow skin under their arm. If any group fighting, they are the people that carry the cow skin and put it down. If they put it down, nobody else to throw color again. You have to stop. Okay. That's the work of the high priest.
Okay. So it doesn't necessarily mean that he's connected to the witch group.
No.
Okay.
But what I made a reference to is at the head, we'll go there and discuss.
Okay.
And so they tell you, say, I said, well, you the boy, say, this thing come in a town. So you the high person call your temple and tell them, this is why I want to come.
Okay. Now, we've also heard, since we're on this topic, that in Maryland, there's some of the issues of high men or people who go around killing young people and children for sacrifices. What do you know about this?
Well, they're getting around. It's something that has been going on, but mostly there are no here, no there. Always when it happens. People have been dying here, people have been lost in, but there are no response, no here, no there.
So would you say that for example, your father, would he have been part of somebody that people could have referred to for this kind of service?
Well, my father, what I know about is, I think I said he has two groups. There's another group that prepare for killing.
Okay.
There's another group that go there for help.
Okay.
So what my father does is, if somebody lost of that kind, and you decide to go to him to go find out, he can tell you maybe what the person is, and maybe if you are lucky, you could find a person. Or he either tell you whether that person is still alive or not. Or he tell you who is the cause of that person's death. So that's the one that I used to see him doing.
So he can help the people, in a sense.
Yeah.
And also give protection.
Yeah.
But there are others who specialize in killing people to make sacrifice for giving power.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
We want to see.
All right.
Yeah.
And where do you think these powers come from? For example, your father's power. Where did he draw his power from to be able to give this kind of protection?
Well, I quit there. I don't even know.
Because I noticed you said God willing, even though you were protected. So did you feel that it was God that was protecting you? Or it was something that your father gave you?
What happened here is there's nothing that you could do without God. Because what I do know is I could remember what my father said I go to pick leave. He called God.
Okay, so
for God to help him on what he's going to do.
But those other people who can make the children disappear to give power to people, you think God is willing that too?
Oh, well, I don't know. But what I've seen, that's what I'm talking about.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, witness.
Yeah.
For sharing your experience and testimony with the TRC. As I said earlier, all of this will help us to complete the work the Liberian people and the international community, Liberian government have tasked us to do. That is to find out what happened in Liberia, what went wrong, who were responsible, who were the victims, how people were ill-treated, how their rights were violated, and all of that. And I assure you, your testimony today has contributed immensely to this aspect of our work. And so we are grateful to you for coming forward as a good citizen to share your experience. So just before you leave, if there's anything else you want to say to the TRC, what's on your mind, an advice, a recommendation, feel free to do so now.
Well, what I want to say is, I want to say thanks to TRC because what happened is every one of us here have feeding. And to be frank with TRC, when the TRC business came up first, when I heard it, I got friends with them seriously. I said it's a challenge to me for somebody to come on this stage and tell me, say, I don't want to kill your father and your father woman. It means that I'm not able to do anything to him. So you come out to tell me that, of course, you must have had it up. But now after a certain time, then I started thinking, the first question that came to me is, even if the war not came my father, do he be living by 1,000 days? Will he came to live forever? Then as the days go, things started happening. Why are you going to get friends with the man who killed your father? Maybe what your father went through before he died, the person that killed your father, you don't even go through that. You don't even have a child. The person who killed your father, maybe up to then, they could not get cigarettes to smoke. Some of them begging for cigarettes not in the street. Then why should you worry yourself to go and attack them? So when those things started coming to my mind, I decided that it was not something bad that the TLC were doing. So I want to say thanks to the TLC for the effort. Because I don't think that Jerome Niver alone was getting vexed over the idea. There were many persons that were getting vexed over the idea. And everything, the study of everything is hard. So I know what all you people have passed through before today. You are sitting down here today. So I want to say thanks to all of you. And also I will talk to some of my friends who and myself used to discuss it to tell them, say, look, I just want to place there to myself. So I think if any of them come around you, you should be able to agree with them. So I want to say thanks to everybody.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Thank you for the support as well. You may leave now.